What's good, YouTube? It's me, your boy Squid, back in another video. Let's talk about Super Heavy Samurai. We know that Scarecrow got neutered and crushed by the ban list. However, the deck is definitely not dead. As a combo deck, it does a lot off of one card combos. Prodigy still lets you get more or less the same board. Unfortunately, it is a bit more vulnerable to hand traps. However, the deck, I think, is not dead by any means, and it's still definitely good enough as a combo deck. It's super viable, and yeah, I want to show you guys some one-card combos. I gotta give a shout-out to the YouTuber Emii, because I was kind of checking out their channel and got some inspiration for these combos. So yeah, definitely go check them out if you want to look at Super Heavy Samurai stuff. But we're just going to scale the WAKAUSHI right here. Standard combo, bring this out, get the Big Monk Benkei, and then add the Soul Piercer, get that in rotation, so use our normal summon for the turn. And then from here, what's actually cool is we're going to go to a new monster called Tilting Entrainment. And what this is a TCG exclusive Earth Machine level 8 synchro that has no restrictions. And the nice thing is, if this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower pendulum monster from your hand or face up extra deck with no restrictions. So what it is it allows us to obviously go Chainlink 1 Entrainment, Chainlink 2 Soul Piercer to add a copy of Motorbike, get that in rotation for our Baron later on. And then we can bring back the WAKAUSHI off of Tilting Entrainment as a free body. So essentially, Tilting Entrainment is like a bridge to get our WAKAUSHI back, so we can tribute it off in our next play with the Soul Peacemaker, and then still have the Tilting Entrainment on the field as a body extender for later on in the plays. So it's really, really nice. So we're going to add the copy of Super Heavy Samurai Soul Peacemaker here, go into our Prodigy, attach, tribute these two off, and then going to get the scales. So very standard combo as we did before. Going to bring back the Soul Piercer, and then going to go into the Ancient Gear box, or the Ballista, which adds a box rather, and then Chainlink 2 Soul Piercer to add another copy of Prodigy for our other scale for our Pendulum. Coming up, Ancient Gear box is going to allow us to add a copy of Tunneler. And I think Tunneler is very important for this combo because, again, this is all off one card. If our opponent hand traps like Nibs or something, we're probably going to pass our turn. However, if we're able to get the Tunneler into the graveyard, into rotation, then we're able to draw 2 new cards, and that allows us to mount our defenses because we're drawing more hand traps, right? Like combo decks, traditionally, it's either your opponent stops you or you probably win because you make an unbeatable board. But if your opponent happens to stop you, what you have to do is try to turtle up and survive to the best of your ability. As long as we're surviving to see another turn, then the chances are we can keep playing and then reset our combo, right? So that's what we want to aim to do if our opponent does stop us. And it's nice that this is all off one card, so it doesn't really matter. We're not losing advantage. In fact, if we get Tunneler into rotation, our opponent's actually going -1 because we're drawing 2 cards, right? So it's quite nice. Okay. This is really nice because Tilting Entrainment becomes another body right there. See what I meant by like keeping that on as an extender? It gives you the free body. We can use that with Ancient Gear Ballista to go into Clear for Genius, which allows us to still get this effect, which is a lot harder now without the Scarecrow. However, this line still allows that to be possible. So we're going to Pendulum for 3, Pendulum back the Prodigy along with the 2 cards that we searched. And then from here, we're actually going to be able to use Genius to get Regulus just like before. And then we're going to use Regulus to bring out Regulus and then attach the copy of Soul Piercer. Standard synchro play into Excel and to bring back the Motorbike. And then we're going to be able to make a Baron. And then from here, we're going to be able to pop the Soul Piercer so we can add a copy of Stealthy, which is another extender that will allow us to go into Appaloosa for 3 materials with the rest of our cards. So then we get Appaloosa, and from here we're actually able to use the effect of Tunneler to shuffle back and draw 2 cards. So it's really, really nice, guys. This is off 1 card where we have 4 cards in our hand. And this is really a proof of concept because if we have a full grip of other extenders, we could potentially make Baron de Fleur or Therion King Regulus before doing our Pendulum Summon, which is like the main hubcap to actually do our full combo, right? So as long as we get like a protector out before we do that, an opponent can't really nib or hand trap us, then we're probably in a good spot. So in addition to all of this, at the end of our turn, we draw 2 cards. So we're kind of seeing like what we're doing before with the Super Heavy Samurai. And because all of the decks are more or less watered down, I could definitely see Super Heavy Samurai still being a good contender, right? You guys cannot compare it to previous format with 3 Arise Heart, 3 Everything Full Power, where it's a lot harder to play. Okay, guys, we're here back for the second combo with just Super Heavy Samurai Wagon. Thanks a lot, guys, for letting me know immediately in the previous video that what I was doing was illegal by trying to add a non-Super Heavy Samurai Soul monster. But I now realize Wagon can only add a Super Heavy Samurai Souls, which is fine because we found out a way to do the exact same combo more or less. We're going to use Wagon to add Soul Gaia Booster, which is a soul. I checked like 4 times to make sure. We're going to special summon this, going to make Gear Gigan X. So instead of tilting entrainment, we get to go into Gear Gigan X to add the Samurai Motorbike here. We're going to go Motorbike discard to add the WAKAUSHI. So it kind of puts us in the same situation more or less where we have a free Gigan X as a body that we can use as an extender later in the combo. Going to special summon WAKAUSHI, add the Soul Peacemaker. Soul Peacemaker is going to attach itself to the Prodigy to tribute itself and Prodigy in order to special summon out the Soul Piercer. This will get this into rotation so we can start searching endlessly. Going to go Gear Ballista, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Soul Piercer. Going to be able to add a copy of Scales and a copy of Gearbox and the brick that I was originally talking about, which is General Coral, which serves as your other scale. Now, you can kind of deviate here by adding what you want. If you wanted to use Gearbox to add Tunneler, that's also fine, but you would be forced to use Soul Piercer to add a copy of WAKAUSHI as your other scale, which is slightly less optimal, meaning you'll end on 1 less negate because of the fact that Scales is an extra body because you revive back another level 4, and on top of that, you get another search off of the Soul Piercer that you actually search. So, by playing General Coral as a brick, you get another +2 in terms of advantage, which allows you to get another Baron on board instead of ending on Appaloosa and Regulus. We're actually going to be able to get a Baron, and I'll show you guys right now how that works. So we're going to go scale the Coral, going to pendulum out 3, and then from here, use the effect of the Scales to bring back the Soul Piercer, like we did traditionally. Going to go into the Excel, into the Baron mode, but first we're going to get a Soul Piercer search on Chainlink 2 to add Stealthy as another extender, as another body for the Appaloosa that we're going to make in a second here. So we're going to go into the Baron, standard plays, and then from here, we're going to overlay these 2 bad boys into the Merrymaker, into the Sargass, and now we're going to be able to add a copy of the Therion King Regulus. Regulus is going to come out and attach itself to the Soul Piercer, which is allow us to get another search after we pop it off Baron. So this is kind of unique. Here, you can do a couple of things. If you happen to play another copy of a extender like the Claw or anything that can equip itself and then special summon, you could actually do that to make an even bigger copy of Appaloosa. But here, I think we're just going to search WAKAUSHI just for a follow-up because I feel like a 3 material Appaloosa is probably more than enough at 2400, right? So if we special summon out Stealthy as soon as my DB stops lagging, we're going to be able to make a Appaloosa the hard way. And it's kind of nice. You can kind of tweak your plays. Like here, we decided to search the follow-up in the form of WAKAUSHI. But if you wanted to make even bigger plays, you could definitely search like another extender and then just make another bigger Appaloosa, right? So it really depends on what you're trying to do with the deck. But at the end of the day, we're still doing all of this off of 1 card. So if you have other card extenders in your hand, then you can potentially make like a Baron or a Regulus before doing all of this. So we're going to go into the 3 material Appaloosa. Sorry guys, I was a little laggy, but you saw what I did there by sending the Ancient Gear Ballista, the Sargass, and then we also sent the copy of Stealthy to get that 2400 Appaloosa. Alternatively, again, you could, instead of searching WAKAUSHI as a follow-up, what you could do is search a copy of the Claw or any other card that equips itself and special summons itself off Stealthy, and then go into 4 material Appaloosa with 3200. So that's about it for the second combo. Yeah. I will show you guys quickly my deck recipe here. I still think that Gamma is actually quite good. I see the OCG are still playing this even as a 1-up because they think it's that good. People are going to be drolling on empty boards. People are still going to be playing hand trap suboptimally now that they know Gamma's gone. And then Driver being able to be pendulum summoned out as a level 6 body is really easy with WAKAUSHI to go into an instant level 10 in the form of Baron de Fleur or yeah, that's about it. I guess Baron de Fleur. But yeah, it's really cool. And I think it also opens up avenues for you guys to play Cyframe Gear Delta, which is a card that negates spell cards. And as we all know, Sky Striker is probably creeping its way back into the metagame. So being able to either go into a Cyframe Lord Lambda or going second, just negating an engage is always really powerful. So I thought, hey, maybe it's just worth trying. Maybe it's just worth seeing. I see every OCG playing 1 copy of Gamma again. So maybe it's just that good. And the Brick Driver in this deck doesn't hurt as much because we could pendulum summon at his body. But hey, I don't know. I'm just second guessing. So if you guys have any thoughts about this deck, definitely let me know. Other than that, if there are any combos that we're missing, definitely let us know, and then we will continue to innovate this deck, because I think there are a lot of avenues for this deck to actually be very powerful, but we have to play very precisely and delicately to play around hand traps and make sure that our combos are going through, because at the end of the day, it is a combo deck. So that's about all I had. I'll see you guys in the next video, and yeah, thanks for tuning in.